my work has always been women's experience. And in the last, maybe 8 years or so, that's really focused on women's work. Thinking about a lot of jobs that women do that might be invisible or undervalued in some way, or that we think of as very female-dominated. And in the last 4 or 5 years, that's really focused on women's work, both paid and unpaid, in relation to childbearing and rearing. And that's the subject of this exhibition at the Hepworth Mothering. The show brings together work made over the past 4 years, over 4 series that I've worked on in that time. The earliest is Birth Reflections, which was the result of a residency I did in the maternity wing at UCLH in London. And that was time spent observing women working there as midwives and doctors and nurses, and also these labouring women and new mothers on the postnatal ward. That series was made at the same time as a more personal series called Lisa, which is about my sister-in-law Lisa becoming a mother for the first time. Refreshments shows Lisa playing with baby Layla on the floor on a playmat, which is the subject of the work, but actually partly for me the subject is also all the stuff that's amassing on the coffee table next to her, and sort of several undrunk glasses of juice or cups of tea. One of the things I was really thinking about when I was making that body of work was about the domestic landscape and the visual clutter, I suppose, that suddenly is everywhere when you've got a little baby. The show then goes into a series called Nurture, which is really thinking about the people, largely women, who deal with the care and influence on young children, that 0 to 5 age group. So it might be nursery workers or family members. So my mum appears in some of these paintings as looking after my daughter. Sticker dolly dressing is probably one of my favourite paintings I've made, actually, because it's my mum and my daughter round the kitchen table at my parents' house. And my parents have lived in the same house before I was born, so it's the same kitchen that I sat in as a little girl. So I'm very familiar with it, but I'm also familiar with it through painting as well, because my mum has been the subject of quite a lot of my work. Previously it was really about her relationship with her own house. And now she's featuring in the work in the Hepworth show in her role as Granny. All of my work starts with photography, so that's usually the result of spending time with people either in their place of work or at home and gathering lots of evidence, I suppose. And then back in the studio, I'll start to work with the photographs to develop drawings, and then oil sketches, which are studies for big paintings. Sensory Play is a painting from a recent series called The Holiday Park, which was based on time I spent with a family-friendly holiday park last summer. And Sensory Play shows one of the entertainers who do all this entertaining from activities with small children. The holiday park interested me as a subject because I felt like it continued some of these themes that I'd been looking at through these other more direct subjects that were engaging with this early years of motherhood and childcare. I think it's a lot easier now to be a woman artist making work about motherhood than it was even, 10 years ago. It's become a subject that's much more in the cultural consciousness. Everybody can relate to it in some way, that you don't have to also have children to relate to something in that as a subject. And I hope that when people come to this show, they'll see that the subject of it is really about care and nurture, and it's about the human relationships rather than a specific kind of mother and child relationship, which is why I chose the title Mothering rather than Motherhood, because it's about this verb to mother.